Well, good afternoon. You're here. You're back. You promised you would come back and you delivered. Thank you. And I'm pleased that you're here. Welcome to the merry month of May. May is finally here. Can you believe how fast this year has gone? I mean, it was just April, just March, just February, just January, and we're already into the month of May. Now, May is going to be exciting because May is going to be a month that is filled with opportunities, filled with challenges, and filled with all types of triumphs, trials and triumphs, trials and triumphs. Let me see if I can deal with this trial and triumph right now. Having a small bit of problem, but I'll get over it. I promise you I will. I promise you I will. Um, let's see now. Let's do this, and then let's do this. Yes. Well, I'm glad that you're here. This is going to be an exciting month, not just graduations, but also Mother's Day and all types of activities are going to be happening here in the month of May. And I'm glad to be able to start this month of May off with you. So let me say again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the month of May. I am your host, Tim Alston, and welcome to another Thursday episode of the Tim Commandments of Leadership. This is not where we just talk leadership. We actually live it. We live it and we love it. Today is Thursday. Today is the 1st of May. And throughout this month, we have been throughout this series, we've been going through the different alphabets that make up a silver path. We start off with A, awareness, start off with S, step back, and allow time and circumstances to elevate you. We went to I, identify problems where others only see, identify opportunities where others only see problems. We went to L, lean not to your own understanding. We went to V, validate those above and below you. E, elude and escape and avoid all chances of self-promotion. Last week, R, ready your successor. Now, today, we go to the mighty letter P. Went to the acronym A Silver Path. We've got the letter P. We've got 5 leadership principles. We have 5 powerful people and 5 God-sized lessons. Are you ready? Let's go. Our first P is for perseverance. Perseverance. And let's talk about Sir Edmund Hillary. You know the name. You've seen the name before. He was recognized as the first person to ever conquer Mount Everest. That's the world's highest elevation at 29,000 feet, roughly 5.5 miles tall. He and his native Sherpa mountaineer Tenzing Norgay succeeded in 1953, reaching the top, but they failed in their attempts both in 1951 and 1952. But do you know what he said after failing to climb that mountain the first time in 1951? Sir Edmund Hillary stood at the base of Mount Everest, looked up at it, shook his fist and said, "Mount Everest, you beat me the first time, but I'll beat you the next time." And you know why? Because you've grown all that you're going to grow, but I'm still growing. That's perseverance. But more importantly, that's leadership perseverance. Leadership perseverance. You see, leadership perseverance is not about ignoring failure. It's about outgrowing your failure. That's what emerging leaders do. We outgrow our mountains. We outgrow our Mount Everest. We outgrow our problems. We outgrow our deflated ego that tells us, quit now, you can't do it. Perseverance creates a pathway for persevering leadership. Now, according to Wikipedia, this shows you what perseverance does. Since Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest in 1953 as the first people, since that time, over 6,000 people have reached that summit in Mount Everest for a total of 11,258 successful ascents, accounting for some people making multiple climbs up that mountain. As of last December, some 7,269 individuals have summited to the top. So what is our leadership commandment in terms of perseverance? Perseverance is not about being perfect. Perseverance is about growing until the problem is no longer bigger than your purpose. Let me say that again. Perseverance is not about being perfect. It's about growing until the problem is no longer bigger than your purpose. One of my mentors, Bishop Nolan McCants of Plainfield, Illinois, once taught me, he says, "Tim, a big shot is simply a little shot that just kept on shooting. Let me say that again. I love it. A big shot is simply a little shot that just kept on shooting. That's our first P, perseverance. Our second P is for patience. The motivational speaker and entrepreneur Tony Robbins once asked Nelson Mandela, the former political prisoner who later became the first president of South Africa, asked him, how did you endure the pain? How did you endure the agony of 27 years in prison? Mr. Mandela's answer was actually a question. He said, what pain? What agony? I was preparing to become the president of my country, and I knew it would take 27 years for me to do that. I got to pause. Let that one marinate in you. Let me say that again. Nelson Mandela said, what pain, what agony? I was preparing to become the president of my country, and I knew it would take 27 years. Mandela saw his prison cell as a prep run. He reframed his pain as a process. Patience isn't passive, it's prophetic. It sees not where you are, but where you're becoming. Our leadership commandment on patience is the discipline of those who can already see their future and live like it's already real. There's another P, our third P. We first did perseverance, then we've done patience. Now our third P is for planning. Let me bring this all the way back home to the Boston Celtics. Last Tuesday night, the Celtics eliminated the Orlando Magic in the first round of the playoffs. But they didn't just win. They executed a plan, our third P, a physical plan. The Celtics knew going into that game that Orlando would try to outmuscle them. So the Celtics countered, not just with skill, but with strategy. Ball movement, bench depth, and pacing. It wasn't raw talent that won the game. It was premeditated leadership. Let me give you this quote. Yeah, it was probably exactly what we needed, said Jason Tatum, who led the Celtics with 35 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. It was a good test for us in this first round. A couple of our guys were really banged up and were dealing with a lot of different things, but just showing up and showing that mental toughness and getting up and getting ready for each game and doing whatever it takes, whatever the game calls for, and figuring out a way to win. That's all that matters at this time of the year during the playoff season. As a group, we've been through it all, and we've showed it and proved it in this series. That was a great learning experience now, says Jaylen Brown, a great learning experience for us to go a full playoff series. They went all 5 games, 5 out of 7 games, having to be physical, having to get in the trenches, rebound, flagrant fouls, play through it all, physicality, play through it, and still find ways to win. He scored 23 points in that final deciding game. That's one of the challenges people would have said before this season. Take away the Celtics' three-point shooting, play them physical, and I think we responded well to that in this series. So that's something that we'll continue to build on, so that it's great to have that in our back pockets and take that going forward in the playoffs. Now, according to ESPN research, the Celtics' 31-point win is the largest by any team after trailing at halftime in NBA playoff history. And it's the largest win in Celtics history when trailing at halftime in the regular season or playoffs. Our leadership commandment is this: planning turns raw potential into repeatable results. Let me say that again. Planning turns raw potential into repeatable results. It reminds me of a text in Proverbs 21, verse 5. It says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. And speaking of the Boston Celtics, our next P is actually 2 Ps, PP, for Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard, make sure I get that tongue twister right. If you joined us last week, you know I celebrated Peyton Pritchard being named the NBA's 6th Man of the Year. He is a silver medal leader in every sense of the word. Pritchard doesn't start. He doesn't dominate headlines, and he doesn't care about that. What he does care about is that he shows up, he steps back, he readies his successors, he elevates others. That's perseverance and patience and planning, all wrapped in the blanket of humility. The leadership commandment here is that true greatness doesn't always start, but it sustains. True greatness doesn't always start, but it sustains. And finally, our final P is prayer. We've done perseverance, we've done patience, we've done planning, we've done Peyton Pritchard, and now prayer. Let me close with this powerful thought. It was 1989, and I was at my lowest point in life, emotionally, financially, professionally. And mom and dad, my parents, sent me a reading that was so powerful, I decided I needed to share it, but more importantly, to memorize it and be able to recite it at every opportunity I get, such as now. And what is that quote? Prayer is the answer to every problem in life. It puts us in tune with divine wisdom, which knows how to adjust everything perfectly. So often, we do not pray in certain situations because from our standpoint, the outlook is hopeless, but nothing, and I mean nothing, is impossible with God. Nothing is so entangled that it cannot be remedied. No human relationship is so strained that God cannot bring about reconciliation and understanding. No one is so weak that he cannot be made strong. No one is so ill that he or she cannot be healed. No mind is so dull that it cannot be made brilliant. Whatever we need, if we trust God, he will supply it. And if anything is causing you or me worry or anxiety, let us stop rehearsing the difficulty and turn to God for healing, for love, and for power. That's a powerful, powerful quote. But that's just not inspiration. That's strategy. That is the strategy of a prayer life that all of us as emerging leaders will need. The leadership commandment here is that prayer is the most underutilized leadership superpower in the world. Use it. Prayer is the most underutilized leadership superpower in the world. Use it. Let me recap today's 5 P commandments. Perseverance, outgrow your obstacles. Patience, see what's coming and prepare with dignity. Planning, execute with excellence, not just effort. Peyton Pritchard, honor the sixth man, the silver medal leader. And prayer, ask the one who already knows the outcome. This has been another episode of the 10 Commandments of Leadership. I'm Tim Alston. Until next time, keep leading from the middle, where humility shines, egos shrink, and God gets the glory. If you like what you've heard, if you like what we've talked about, if it has informed you, inspired you, encouraged you, then please share it, like it, and subscribe to us. Stay humble, stay leading from the middle, stay tuned, stay in position. And remember, if this message is becoming to you, then you should be coming to us. Join us on Mondays for our first show of the week, which is the Tim Alston Show. And also, join us on Thursdays. Those two shows have the same objectives, 2 objectives. Number 1, the purpose of those shows are to aim to educate, empower, and equip emerging leaders with God-thought leadership. And the second objective is to present current events and newsmakers in the light of best practices from the Bible. Thank you, and I leave you with the quotation from Philip Brooks, who was a 19th century American Episcopal clergyman and author. He said, "Don't ask for an easier life, ask to become a better person. Don't ask for task equal to your power, ask for power equal to your task. And when that work is done, that work will not be the miracle. You will be the miracle." Thank you. God bless, and amen. Bye-bye.